Hello and welcome to the Stover Farm channel. I'm so glad to have you here with me, and I know I owe you this. It's been a while. This is part 3 of the Money is No Option, a river runs through it farm build. Well, right now it's my dream house build on a little plot of land in no man's land. And I'm really taking my time on this because this is a map that I really like. So I'm trying to hit all those little small details, make them as perfect as possible. I'm not worrying about money. This is by no means a traditional farmhouse. I am rich and I'm building a house. And I know I'm breaking this up into more segments than I had originally planned, but it's really taking a lot of time. And even this part 3, we're going to get the house built, we're going to get the garage built, we're going to sculpt the driveway. I didn't even touch landscaping or trees or anything. So I'm going to be making a part 4 and then a part 5 and probably a part 6. I don't know. We're going to do this one right. We're going to add all the details. It's going to be a beautiful mansion. And then we got to build the actual farm. And like before, I'm going to use my John Deere Ag Monitor to hop in here and talk a little bit as I'm going through this build. And just a note, I'm running this at 2x speed. I think it's the best balance between speed, but yet still allowing you to have enough detail to know and understand what the heck I'm actually doing. And this is the area I'm working out of. It's a section of land that we've already built a road and a river through. And this is the first house that I'm considering. It's one of Snake Bizzle's new mansions, but I'm not going to use that one. If you're interested in that house, though, got a friend of the channel, Ronnie Gold from Ronnie Gold Gaming. He's got a full preview of that house. It's amazing. And it's available on Snake Bizzle's Patreon account. Snake Bizzle's got some amazing public mods out there. This 2 houses are on his Patreon, and I know there's tons of controversy over Patreons and Itch versus ModHub. I'm not getting into that. Snake Bizzle's is a great modder. Highly recommend you check him out. And these 2 houses, I am very happy to have. So let's take a look at the house that I'm actually going to use, and it's one of his more recent mansion releases, and it is spectacular. Multiple rooms, highly detailed, huge garage, just everything that you could want or need in a home. Garage is very... Oh, well, hold on, we've got to blur that out. We don't want to get... any negative hits on YouTube. Great detail in the garage. Let's go ahead and walk back in the house, and you can see here little mud room, lights, security system, multiple levels upstairs. Got a music room. I guess maybe Snake, he's a band guy. I don't know. Guitars on the wall. Very, very cool. Then over here, look at this, a YouTube room. This is amazing. Green screen is up. Looks like a modding computer. Maybe a YouTube computer to go live and do some streaming. Farm sim on the other computer. Pretty awesome. Here's the laundry, and this takes you out into the back patio area. Really nice covered patio. Don't know. I don't think that works. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm not hitting the right buttons. I don't know. Gas grill, bar on the outside, just really nice. And I love this kitchen and this family room, dining room area. Open platform, windows, floor to ceiling. You can look out over the beautiful property that we own. Some Netflix on the television. This is what we're getting now with mods in Farm Sim. Just some extremely high quality, well-built mods that work. And again, I'm not going to get into some of the controversy of paid versus unpaid mods. There's a million different discussions out there on the forum about it. I will just say this. this particular modder. I really enjoy his content. I really enjoy his products. Check him out. He's got a lot of free buildings out there on the itch.io page. You can make some amazing stuff with it. This is just an added bonus if you do go and join the Patreon. And I'm getting rid of some of these trees up here because I think I'm going to likely build a barn area up in this, I don't know what we would call this, kind of a valley area. If you walk all the way up here, this takes you up to the interstate. And you can see there's just some real nice terrain through here. This is No Man's Land, by the way. It's just a custom modded version that I've done inside the game editor, not Giants Editor. So again, you can do all of this yourself if you wanted to. Doesn't matter if you're on console or PC. So I got rid of those trees, backing my truck up so that I can have a little more room. I always hate it when I've got an object in the way when I'm building something and or my character is in the way. So just trying to get all those pieces away from the area that I'm going to be building in. Just using the smoothing tool here to smooth out, and I use that flattening tool because I know the total size that the house is going to take up, and I want to be kind of in control of what that land grade is going to look like, so I'm trying to smooth it out. And I'm using the sculpting tool here as well, just on a very low power to raise and lower things as we go. I'm not always relying on the smoothing tool or the flattening tool. Sometimes it's nice to just go in with that raising and lowering tool and just very subtly, very softly, click the mouse and make the changes that you need. So now the house is down, and I'm looking at the driveway. I've got to get a driveway in that is actually flat, properly flat, and then an area that I want to add some more garage space to. I've always, had the dream if you were a multimillionaire and you had a huge home that you would have, or I would have a ton of garage space. And I kind of like the idea of not having them all attached, but almost like a little courtyard between your multiple garages. So I'm just going through the various sheds and finding something that will work and dropping it down. Absolutely love the OK Use Mods items here, but I don't think they really fit with this house, so I'm going with something a little different, a 3-car garage. Find the correct paint color, and I think this will work. And I've said it in the past. I think it's, a wise idea to paint your, roads. Go ahead and paint where you think you might be putting a road. But you can see right here, like, that's not going to work as a road. We've got to fix that. So I'm going to get the flattening tool, and I'm going to flatten, but I'm going to click the mouse over and over and over and over and over and over again so that I get a nice, smooth ramp up. You can also use the ramp tool, and I'm going to use that here as well. The benefit of doing it this way is you can kind of get the rough cut in first, and then you can use that ramp tool to get a really nice and smooth an area for you to put your actual driveway down. I think it turns out really, really nice. It's a lot of just back and forth of cutting the land, smoothing the land, realizing you didn't cut enough of the land, going and cutting more, smoothing more, flattening a little more, going and getting your vehicle and just driving on it to see if it's flat enough. But take your time, get it to how you want it. I don't just want to paint a road here and the truck or my vehicles go up it sideways. I want it to be a nice flat driveway up to this home. We're spending the money on it. We're going to do it right. And again, just more flattening, raising, cutting through the land. Uh, I don't think you have to have everything perfectly level, and I kind of like it that way. I like that the grass for the yard has kind of a hill to it. It has a slope, but then I want my driveway to be really nice and flat. I want to cut through that land just to give it some, I don't know, dimensionality. Is that the right term for it? I just feel like it has a little more realism to it if you're not just making a perfectly flat area. And then I'm really taking my time here. I've mentioned it in the past. You don't need to be perfect in everything you're doing in farm sim. In fact, I highly recommend you don't do it because the world is not perfect. There's imperfections everywhere, and that's what makes things, real life. I know this isn't real life, but if you're going for that realism in farm sim, don't feel like you have to have everything perfect. Now, for this, I'm breaking my own rule. I'm really trying to make it as crisp as possible, and I'm using the actual angle of the map. This is a multi-terrain angle map, but you're still limited. You don't have you know perfectly smooth curves. That's why you see those little jaggies as you make the turns. So, but I'm trying to do my best to make everything as smooth as possible. And I highly recommend this. When you make a road or you do something, put a little border on it. Um, don't just have it go straight into grass. Put some gravel, put some dirt, some dust, some gravel dirt, some gravel dust. Really special thanks to Alien Jim. He did an update to this map just recently. In fact, it was, I think, this week, which added a bunch of new paintable textures as well as new grass, some rocks, some twigs that you can now paint on the map. So really, really, really nice, and just a great addition to an already really nice map. And I mentioned that Alien Jim added more paintable textures and patterns, so I'm just kind of making some continuity changes to make everything right. And really, down to just smoothing things out, trying to make things as smooth as possible. It's still pretty boring up here. We've just got a house and a garage and a driveway. But I want my land to be as perfect as possible. And the next round of this, we're going to get into landscaping. We're going to get into trees. We're going to get into really some of those big details um, on the property. And then we've still got to make the actual farm. The farm is across the river, and it's a fairly large farm. There's two farms on this map, but this is the larger of the two. And we've still got to build that. So, what I thought was just going to be a couple episodes, yeah, turned it into many, many more. I'm sorry for that. But I really appreciate you all sticking by. I hope you enjoy this. It's so calming and relaxing for me to just get into a map, start just tinkering around. I think it's what this game is so good at. It's a farming simulator, but then it's also a city creator, like a SimCity, like you're creating your own virtual world, your dream homestead. So we still got a lot more work to do. I really am thankful for you sticking by, coming out and checking out the progress on this farm. And we'll have another round. We'll get into some really, really big details and landscaping and trees, and then we'll build the farm. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the farm with the Stovers.